Hi everyone, Siobhan here. Today I want to make a video regarding the few mistakes that we make when we choose a visa agent for a PR. And I will also be including my own personal experiences that I've had, and so that you don't have the same or you don't repeat the same. But before we start the video, can I please request you all to go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that this will motivate me to make more videos moving forward. So let's dive into it. So the first one is finding a, I would say finding a perfect, not a perfect, finding a good visa agent. Um, so whenever you are applying for a PR, you need to make sure that you're giving your hard-earned money, your time, your effort, and all of these things, and your energy to somebody or to a third party company who will be managing everything for you on this visa journey. So make sure that you do your research. Research is what I would say. Research on that visa agency, whoever it is in India or abroad. Make sure that you are not talking to them virtually. Go to their office, look at the staff, look at how qualified the staff is, look around the surroundings. They've got certifications, how updated they are, so that you are not falling into the hands of a faker. There are a lot of visa companies in Punjab and Haryana which promise to send you abroad, but they take money from you and they do not know what the visa rules are or what changes have come in every year. So make sure that you do your research, right? It's very, very important. Otherwise, they will rip you off, they will take the money, and you will be running around in circles. So do your research. I would say is ask them for a list of visas they have issued this year or last year. Whenever you're going, ask them, show me the successful candidates that you have processed this year. I want to see that report. They might hesitate, but you say, I'm not going to go ahead until I see that. So you have at least some data to prove that yes, they had 50 intakes and they processed, or they got 20 people the PR approved for Canada or Australia or whatever country, and what category they were. That's also very important. Just have a look. If you're an IT or accountant, make sure that they are handling your category very, very they've processed those categories before. So also sit with them, understand the whole process. Don't jump into something and say, okay, let me pay the money today and we'll go over the process. No, sit with them, have a one-on-one, take 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever times it takes. Understand the whole process and the timeline involved for each milestone, like ACS. Now, I am a project manager, and when I was applying for a PR, I had to go through ACS, which is an Australian Computer Society, which will look at my work experience, right? And they will give me points based on my work experience. And also there is a something called SOL, which is the occupation list, right? Skilled occupation list. So you have to make sure, first of all, I think, do your own research. Like I said, look if your profile matches closely to any of those skilled occupational list, which is which is updated every now and then. I will list down the link below so that you can have a look. So understand the timeline, understand, okay, it will take 6 months, 4 months, how much time the ACS will take. Okay, after ACS, I will be focusing on my IELTS or PT. How much time will you take to file my visa, right? And what all the documentation, get the documentation list and all of that. So giving you my example, I failed one time miserably. So I had applied visa on my own. It was 190, which is a state sponsored visa. I applied and it got rejected. Why? Because I had put in a wrong option there because I was doing on my own. I made a mistake and I selected saying that yes, I was studying in offshore. But when they looked at all my documentation, they found out that I wasn't studying offshore, and they asked me to supply more documentation because, as you know, as you pay the visa amount, a case officer is assigned to you who is in Brisbane, and he would start coordinating with you or asking for more information, whether it's documentation or any kind of thing that they would need from you to fulfill that visa. So I told him that I have not been studying on site, so my 5 points were deducted. And because of my age, they told me either you sit for IELTS or PT again, get your 9 points, otherwise there's no other way you can get your PR. And I was very demotivated. So I had already given 6,300 AUD. Can you believe it? So it's almost 3.5 lakhs for the visa. And within 2 months, I knew I couldn't get 9 points, 9 band in IELTS in any of the ways. IELTS, I don't know if somebody gets 9, but I couldn't. I tried, and they rejected my visa, and I lost all that money, 6,300 AUD. So I would say, if you're doing on your own, do the research properly. Don't make any mistake, because any mistake would result in losing all the visa fees that you have paid for yourself and your family members. So but I also learned that when I was doing the application on my own, the Australian government or the case officer was much more lenient, because he could see that those issues or those errors were omitted by me and not by the case officer or some visa officer, which a third party was handling the case. I was handling the case myself. So the next one is ACS gone wrong, right? So skill assessment is very important, is the first thing that happens when you apply for a PR, if you're in IT. So the skill occupation list, when you go to these third party visa counselors or visa companies, visa agents, they will tell you, okay, you are a database administrator, and your profile suits to this profile. Let's say I'm not a database administrator, I'm a project manager, but they put me in a business analyst profile, which is not correct, right? It could be, yes, it could be few things very generic, like gathering requirements and all that stuff, but that is not correct, because the moment I will put my ACS application, they will deduct the points. They will say this is not matching with your profile, and that has happened to me, believe me, guys. So I lost 400 there as well. So I've made a lot of mistakes, and with those mistakes, I can tell you, you can learn and you can implement in your PR journey. So research which one matches, look at all the description of the job and see if you are a close match or not. So the other thing is paperwork, right? So when you are going for PR, make sure that your checklist or your documentation is all done and dusted. Whether it's your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, your kid's birth certificate, school leaving certificate, your bank accounts, your name change is very important, because if you change your name and on documentation it's something else, make those documents ready beforehand, because the moment you file your case with the travel agent or with the visa agent, they will be asking all those questions and all those documentation. Make a Google folder, and upload all your documents there, so that whenever anyone asks, you have those documents handy. So all those things. And I would say the last is reading the agreement. It's very, very, very important that you read the agreement. I know it's 10 pages, 20 pages. It's like sometimes you don't even understand, but sit with your agent, ask questions, ask legit questions. Ask them, if this doesn't happen, then what happens? If this happens, then what happens? So you know the repercussions, that if the visa is rejected or something happens, what are your rights with the application. So I will list down the new SOL list. You can have a look. But yes, again, I would say go ahead, do your research, apply for the PR, and I hope you get through. And if you find this video in any way insightful, knowledgeable, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.